Danny Heisock with Cohen and Hell Direct, helping people do their business better. So we're at the Neat booth at Enterprise Connect 2024, and we're with John Maas, and he's going to share with us some cool things here at the Neat booth. All right?
What's up, everybody? Thank you, Danny. Yeah. Appreciate you. Today we're talking about Pulse. Right? This is a remote management and monitoring tool. One of the greatest features that we don't really talk about that much is profiles. So the idea is you've deployed 10, 15, 20,000 units. Gosh, I don't want to go through and configure every single one of those settings. So guess what? We can add a profile and say, hey, this idea, we can go through every one of those different settings, all those checkboxes. We can do it all at once, assign it as a profile for this region, for this city, for this building, whatever that looks like for your environment, and then deploy it, say, hey, that device is online, we're connected to Pulse, I'm going to assign that profile, and magically, guess what? It's now doing all the great things that you wanted to do, as if you went room by room and set them up individually. Awesome. Great way to batch this and make it happen and keep your life simple. Because what are we? We're neat, right? We're simple, we're easy, and we love you more than they do. That's what we do.
No, that's fantastic. So what other cool technology do you have here at the Neat booth?
Well, today we're actually showcasing a couple of awesome things.
All right.
We've got what do we call it? The app board.
Okay.
That's the whole story there. We're going to talk about Neat Center. Yep. Right, that's the whole story, where it's a companion device. Yep. Right, this adds to your environment to where you're going to have your board and your bars, and then you're going to put that center, either center of the room or in a different configuration, whether that's hanging from the ceiling, tabletop, rotated, whatever it looks like. It's 360-degree camera, actually more because we overlap. So that way when we stitch this video together, there are no seams, there's none of that fishy islands kind of thing going on there. We're all in the same space together.
When is the Neat Center coming out?
So we're shipping in April. We have been talking about this for quite a while.
Yes.
It is amazing. It's going to change the way you do business. For simple reasons, right? Typically when you do a front of room scenario, we're all looking at the presentation. We're engaged there. Yeah. The moment the presentation is done and we're getting to the brass tacks, we're going to have that conversation. We're now circling back. We're huddling. Yes. We're going to do that moment where we're going to do this dialogue, this personal piece. Well, what happens when you're the remote participant? No longer are you part of the story. You're now just peeping in through the window, watching the action happen. You're not at the table. Neat Center brings it front and center. We bring it back to you, right? Every face, everyone's captured. We've got audio attached to that as well with microphones. So you're really brought back to that environment. So as a remote participant, you're still at the table.
Fantastic.
And that makes it happen, right? This is the idea that we're going to make sure that whatever experience is happening, you're not left behind. So in App Hub, right, this is that companion story. To where when you're thinking about whiteboarding, those other experiences, well, your organization is already using different applications for that piece. Salesforce, Miro, right? Take your pick. All those different things come into play. But we're providing that App Hub via Pulse. You can go in there and define what those applications are that you're using. You can put it on a device like this, or the frame, or any of these devices can run it. And then when you're in a call, you can do all those applications, and you can share it directly into that meeting. So whatever that typical application you're using today in your environment, guess what? You can now bring it in to your meeting and make sure that you continue that dialogue and make sure that continuity continues down the path. I love these buzzwords. Aren't these great?
Yeah, I love it.
Day one, right, as we're releasing this here next month, it's an either or. Remember, 3 cameras with overlapping field of view. So 360 plus is what I like to call it.
So if I switch right now, that's gonna pick me up.
If enough of us turn this direction, let's do it together.
Okay, so
so it's going to now make the change.
We're facing this
in front of room.
Look at that, right? It's already doing it.
Yep. And then just a few seconds and it realigns.
All right,
I look good on that camera.
Yeah, it's already. So what I'm saying, and so this is just basically network cable.
We're just a network cable, right? So this device needs to be on the same network as this one for the pairing purposes. It pairs just like you would with a pad.
Just like the same network cable, just like
same story. Same story.
See,
right?
That's
POA and network, and you're done. Nothing runs back to the box. We're doing a handshake on the network, which is phenomenal.
That's a cool little
that's cool, right?
feature, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I changed the field of view, the cameras. Somebody messed with it. You give it a couple of seconds, it's going to reorient, and it's going to find us and put us back in the best of light. Did it do it?
Yeah. It is doing it.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's the great story. There are other folks out there that have a similar style device that has to be tethered to the table and locked down. that has only 2 cameras that can't see this because it's going to pick up those pieces. That has to be voice oriented, so it's going to grab a voice, but it doesn't recognize your voice. So if I stop talking, it's then going to put my face up a couple of times, and now I've got a repeating image of myself. We're not interested in who's speaking. We want everyone in the meeting to be attainable to this. Everyone's participating, whether you're verbal or not. You've got something to add.
Yeah, that's
Usually, when you think about that boardroom, right, the guy at the far end who's being presented to, is usually the softest spoken person there because he owns the company, or he's the jerk, take your pick. But he's also the farthest away, right? So when you put Need Center in there, guess what? We've added extra microphones that can go to this. But that's not all. We can keep going on this path. We've partnered with companies like Shure, so you can add additional microphones, right? Run that back in through a USB-C. Yeah. So you
larger rooms.
You can actually extend that version of it. So hey, you've got that weird space like this is super crazy with the audio and this concrete and glass and all that nonsense. Maybe we're just outside the range of what we can really accomplish in a true form. We got partners, and they're beautiful with us. Are you? Sure, it's phenomenal for us. So you can go and do a full integration system with their audio, tie it back into us, and bam, you've got the great neatness that we represent while providing the great audio that it provides as well. We're happy to be partners with those guys.
That's awesome. All right, so thank you so much, guys. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll do our best to make it. Thanks.